Most of us panic when we see fraction problems, problems that look like this. But after today, we are not going to panic anymore. Because in just 8 minutes, we are going to learn how to solve 4 different types of fraction problems: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, so that you would never get a fraction problem wrong ever again. So pay attention till the end, because this one is worth it. So what is a fraction? First, I am going to explain what a fraction means, real quick, from the very base, so that you would understand what it really means. Well, a fraction is just a representative of a whole. So we may have a whole like this. This is actually a whole. And we can divide that whole into different parts. And these parts are called fractions. So don't make things complicated. That is the whole point. As you can see here, this circle is not divided into anything, right? So it is just a whole, meaning it is just one. This one big chunk can be divided into many parts, right? If we divide it in half, we can say 1/2. So the bottom number is called the denominator, right? So don't forget these terms. I am going to use them later. The bottom number is called the denominator, meaning the bottom number is the total number of parts. And the top number is the number of parts that we get, right? The top number is called the numerator. So here, as you can see, we can divide the circle into 3, meaning we have 3 parts. And we can take one part from it, and we get 1 out of 3. And if we divide it into 4 and take one part, we would get 1/4, and so on. So that is the whole point. Don't complicate things, right? Now let's solve fraction problems in every scenario. We'll start with addition. Here we have 2/5 plus 1/4. But before we solve this problem, let me give you a quick idea of how to add fractions. Let's make this easy first. If we have 1/2 plus 1/2, well, 1/2 means 0.5, and 0.5 plus 0.5 is just 1, right? So if we have 1/2 plus 1/2, that essentially means 1 plus 1 on top and 2 on the bottom, which gives us 2/2, which equals 1. So that is the logic. If we have a common denominator, we simply add the top numbers and get the answer. So that is fractions in a nutshell. Like we discussed, a fraction is just a number representing a whole. So 2/5 means just 2 slices out of 5 total slices. So that is what it means. And when we come to adding fractions, all you have to do is add the top numbers if the bottom numbers are the same, right? But as you can see in our problem, we don't have a common denominator. We have 5 and 4. So how should we handle this? Well, there is a way to convert the denominators into a common one, and that way is simply multiplying the fractions by each other's denominators. So what we are going to do is take the number 4 from the right fraction and multiply the left fraction by it, and take the number 5 from the left fraction and multiply the right fraction by it. So don't get confused or lost at this point. Just take the bottom number from one side and multiply the whole other fraction by it. So starting from the left-hand fraction, we multiply 4 by 2, which is 8, and 4 times 5 on the bottom, which is 20. So we have 8/20. And for the right side, 5 times 1 is 5, and 4 times 5 is 20. So now we have a common denominator, So what is it actually? We can simply add the top numbers. 8 plus 5 is equal to 13, and we keep the denominator as 20. So the answer is 13 over 20. So the thing you need to remember for addition fraction problems is this. Convert the problem into a common denominator first, then simply add the top numbers and keep the bottom number as it is.
And this same rule applies to subtraction as well. The only difference is you are going to subtract the top numbers instead of adding them. So that is how it works. So let's move into subtraction now. So here is the subtraction problem. The thing you need to remember is what I just mentioned. If we have 1 over 2 minus 1 over 2, it basically means 0.5 minus 0.5, which equals 0, right? So here, what you are going to do is just keep the denominator, in this case, 2, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So 0 over 2 simply means 0. So that is what it means.
So basically, in addition and subtraction, if there is a common denominator, the problem becomes just doing the operation on the top numbers, right? So that is it. And there is nothing to complicate here. This is as simple as it gets. So now, I am going to show you how to work with our actual subtraction problem. So we are going to subtract this fraction. What we are going to do is find the common denominator, just like we did in the addition problem. So we are going to multiply the right side fraction by 5 and the left side fraction by 4. So the thing to remember is, start from the left-hand fraction, take the bottom number, go to the right, and multiply the whole right fraction by it. Then do the same with the other fraction. You will always end up with the same denominator on both sides, and that is because 4 times 5 is equal to 5 times 4, right? So 4 times 2 is 8 on top and 20 on the bottom. And 5 times 1 is 5 on top and 20 on the bottom. Now, as you can see, we have a common denominator, so we can subtract the top numbers. 8 minus 5 is equal to 3, and 3 over 20 is going to be the answer. So this is the final answer for the subtraction problem. So subtraction and addition are basically the same thing, right? That is the thing you should remember. Now, let's move to multiplication. Multiplication is actually the easiest one of all four, right? It is the most straightforward thing to do. So what you essentially do is just multiply the top numbers together and multiply the bottom numbers together. That is it. So 2 times 1 is just 2. And the bottom number is 5 times 4, which is 20. So the answer is 2 over 20. You are finished. That is it. You don't need to do anything fancy. That is how it is. Now, let's move to division. And this is the part that trips most people up. But once you see the trick, it is actually just as easy as multiplication. So division is kind of tricky if you don't understand the one rule you need to follow. So here it says 2 over 5 divided by 1 over 4. So how should we do this? Well, you look at the whole problem and you select the right-hand side fraction. In this case, that is 1 over 4. And what you are going to do is flip that fraction upside down. So instead of 1 over 4, it becomes 4 over 1. This is called finding the reciprocal in mathematical terms, but the idea is simple. Just flip the right-hand fraction
upside down. So after you flip the fraction, you are going to multiply instead of divide. So 2 over 5 is going to be multiplied by 4 over 1. And we're almost there. Just multiply straight across. 2 times 4 is 8 on top, and 5 times 1 is 5 on the bottom. So what does it actually equal? The answer is 8 over 5. And that is the correct answer for division.
So let me quickly recap all four. Addition and subtraction. Find a common denominator first, then just operate on the top numbers. Multiplication. Multiply top times top and bottom times bottom. Division. Flip the right-hand fraction and multiply. That is it. 4 rules, all simple.
Let me know in the comments how many of these 4 problems you got right before I explained them. I am genuinely curious how many people already knew all 4. If you solved all of them, I want to give you a smiley face because you did very well. And if you didn't get all of them, I will give you that same smiley face and an A+ because you watched this video all the way to the end, and now you are going to get fraction problems right every single time. So many of you are subscribing to the channel and watching the videos, and I really want to appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. I will see you in the next video.